Welcome to Wine, Wine, and Once, a Once Upon a Time podcast. I'm Dee.
And I'm Lo, and welcome to a bad time. And what a bad time it is. Every week we are going through episode by episode and rewatching Once Upon a Time. We have been watching this show for, oh my gosh, too long, but...
Too long. It keeps getting longer. Every week we say that. Do you realize it's getting longer?
It's getting closer and closer to like 11 years. Disgusting.
Oh, gross.
Even better if you were just now finding this episode. Welcome to the season finale.
Holy shit.
We have made it all the way through. This is episode 21? 22. I could never remember their season order. 20.
No one knows.
And wow.
My God.
We are here.
Honestly, when we started this, we started talking about it back in like June, July.
Like seriously, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought maybe we'd get to like episode 5 or 6 and then be like, well, that was fun. And
get busy.
Out, but
yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are. 22
That's crazy.
Episodes later.
You guys have listened to us for at least 22 hours, and I apologize.
Don't tell them that.
Almost a full day of your life.
Shh. You keep making it worse.
Oof.
Well, welcome, and we're excited you're here.
We are excited you're here, if not apologetic.
As always, spoilers beware. It's spoiler zone.
It's scary out there, folks. We don't censor ourselves in any sense.
No, I mean, and let's be clear. It might be spoiling things that will never occur because we've made them up. But
we are convinced they happen, though, and sometimes that's enough to do it.
Damn it! I know that happened. How?
We manifest things very hard, and sometimes they do happen, sometimes they do not.
But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, how are you?
How am I? I'm good. Okay. Well, I'm good now that I have wine. I have a wine saga for you.
Yes. This was enjoyable.
It was. Lo got to hear this in real time. It was a wild experience. We were watching the episode and we're getting ready to watch the episode. And I was like, oh, it's been a busy day. I'd like to get some wine, which I do have now. So it ends on a happy note.
Clearly it worked out.
Yes. I could not find the normal corkscrew that I usually use for wine. I had one of those ones that you get like at a hotel where it's just the corkscrew. It is just like a handle with there's no lever, there is no anything, no leverage, as they say in Pirates of the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. None of that. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I've got this. Did not got this. The cork was like disintegrating before me as I tried to pull this corkscrew out. I was swearing like a sailor. Then I couldn't find the correct corkscrew. I couldn't find the bag it was supposed to be in. I finally found it, spilled water on my desk. Don't worry, my apartment is built on a slant, so the water fell off the desk. It was a harrowing journey to get this glass of wine.
It really did seem like a full saga.
Yeah, my favorite is at one point, you had left to get a beer, and you came back to me just going, this is a bad... Like, I was mumbling something about, I'm having a fucking bad time. And you were like,
no, I sat down, put my headphones on, and you went, this is not going well. Which is objectively even funnier.
And it was not going well.
It did make me laugh, though. So thank you.
Anytime. And the good news is I did end up with my wine, so it's better.
Wonderful.
So that is kind of my life in a nutshell right now. It's not going well.
Super fine. Super fine.
How about you?
I'm okay. I'm good. As you might hear, I do not have much of a voice right now. I'm on the mend from a cold. I got tested. It's cold, but never fun to have a scare. So.
Oh, for sure.
I'm mending from a cold. It's rough.
That's no fun.
After 2 years of just like not being sick,
right?
To suddenly have this cold thing, I'm like, what is this? We lived like this?
Who signed off on this?
We lived like this. We just did this.
Disgusting.
We went to work and we had colds and we coughed on each other. What?
Gross.
Ugh, it's gross.
Awful.
Truly disgusting. But I'm on the mend. I'm looking forward to not having my nose stuffed up, but
That will be nice.
Can't wait.
I look forward to that day for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, anytime.
Wow.
Well, before we dive into everything, as Lo mentioned, this is the season finale, which means you're not going to hear us for a minute. I mean, you will. Let's be clear. We are not going anywhere per se, but we will be taking a break from the scheduled recording. We're going to give you some fun, weird, unhinged content.
Yes.
We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to mean, but there will be things.
There will be chaos.
So yes, you're going to hear from us, but not your usual content. Our grand return is going to be on May 22nd. That will be the launch of season 2, where you can find us diving into whatever the fuck happens in season 2.
I remember Cora.
I remember that season 2 exists, and I think I'm proud of me, honestly.
Honestly so excited that we just remembered about the existence of season 2.
We don't have to go to Neverland yet.
Maybe that's the day.
Maybe there it is.
That's staring down the barrel of Neverland.
Never hear from us again. We're not going to say bye. We're just going to go, oh, fuck, it's Neverland. We'll come back at season 4. We're just going to be gone for season 3. Return. It's season 4. Everyone else is here.
Perfect. Done.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for hopefully some fun and laughs over the next 5-ish weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It'll be exciting. And as always, you can always come find us over on Instagram at Wine and Once, or email us.
Our Gmail is also wineandonce@gmail.com. We will be posting stuff. You're not going to get away from us that easily.
No.
Sorry.
You are. Oh no.
Whoops.
Mwahaha. Evil laugh.
Oh no. Precisely. Well, I guess take a sip of wine and
cheers.
Cheers. Wish you were here so we could clink in person again. That was fun.
So soon.
All right. Okay. Well, for the last time for this season, let us consult the trusty Disney Plus. This is season 1, episode 22, A Land Without Magic. Emma and Regina work together to save Henry's life. Prince Charming tries to escape from the evil queen and reunite with Snow. Now, my first thought here. I don't believe Emma and Regina really work together. I would say they work in spite of each other for this episode.
No, not really. You know,
it's a weird summary.
Yeah, it's very technically correct, yet
it doesn't feel like finale material if I'm reading that.
No. But again, I guess these are really only meant for fans of the show to be able to find the episode that they're looking for. So,
right.
Guess they don't have to be exciting. They just have to get the information across.
They just have to be accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So we've markedly improved since the beginning of the season.
We've come a long way. All right. Well, time for the full summary. Let's go and see whatever the fuck happens. We are going back to our humble roots where we start in the Enchanted Forest. Oh, it's so good.
Yay.
We love it. Charming tries to break out of the cell in the evil queen's dungeon, and guards arrive to take him to his execution, but he escapes with the help of another guard, which is a little bit concerning. This guard is wearing the evil queen's attire, the cute outfit she has all of her guards wear. She picked it out for them. But it's okay because the guard is the huntsman.
Woo!
We brought Graham back for this.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hi, Jamie Dornan. How you doing?
We love to see it. And he gives Charming his sword and some supplies and is like, leave. And Charming is like, aren't you coming? And he says, no. The queen took my heart. Don't let my sacrifice be in vain. And he's very dramatic about it.
He is very dramatic about it.
And my question with that is, you're already helping him. And I recognize if she has your heart, she can technically manipulate you. But you're helping him now. Isn't that an equal risk? But we don't dwell on it. We just kind of...
Who's to say?
We coast right over that. Coast right on over to Storybrooke, Whereas, if you recall, Henry has eaten an apple turnover and promptly passed out on the ground.
Right.
Lest us not forget. So Emma is rushing him to the hospital, and Dr. Will asks what happened. Emma shows him the apple turnover. It's in a plastic bag. Very organized with it, and she says it's been poisoned. It's something's wrong with this. Test it. Do whatever you have to do.
Test it for like arsenic or Drano or bleach. Or
Drano. That was the one I couldn't think of. Like there was one off the wall thing she listed. Drano. You know, normal things.
You know.
And Dr. Will says, "Well, hey, this kid shows no signs of poisoning, so I don't know what to tell you. Ha ha. It's like he's been struck by magic." You know how doctors talk to to parents of patients?
You know.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, as Dr. Will is saying, oh, it might be magic, Emma is looking through Henry's storybook, and as soon as he says that, she touches the book, and she sees a montage of events from the Enchanted Forest dating all the way back to her baby memories. You know, those newborn memories that you all
famous
hold so
newborn memories. Those famous 1 hour old memories.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot of those, apparently.
When you're the savior, you get to remember every single moment of your life.
Pass. Hard pass. So she remembers everything. Regina arrives and Emma accosts her, and she drags her to a storage closet and starts accusing her of everything. Says Henry was right about you. He's right about everything. And Regina says, what do you mean? And she says, that apple turnover you gave me, he ate it. This is all your fault. And Regina admits to the truth at that point. And Emma says, well, what's going to happen to him? And she says, I don't know. It was meant for you. So I don't know what's going to happen now that he ate it, because magic is unpredictable in this world. And apparently the target of your magic affects how it works.
I guess, or like...
I feel like the magic should work either way. It's a sleeping curse. Does it matter?
I mean, it's odd only because she seemed pretty dang certain it was going to work on Emma. If she hadn't been... Right. Maybe she just didn't care. She's like, she dies, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, exactly. She dies, whatever. But now that it's Henry, she's like, oh shit.
Magic is unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen.
That would be my argument, is she didn't give a
I'll allow that.
If Emma lived or died.
That's fair. No, that's valid. So Emma says, okay, great. Magic is unpredictable. What are we supposed to do? And Regina says, well, we need help from the only other person who knows about magic. And then Emma says, Mr. Gold. And she goes, nah. He prefers to go by Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin, everyone.
There really should have been more flourish in the...
There should have been. But alas. Back in the Enchanted Forest, the evil queen is pacing around when the huntsman enters. She asks why he let Charming escape, which, again, back to my previous point, implies that she could have manipulated him at any point. Mm-hmm. Did not. Could have. Doesn't matter. And the huntsman says he will find him, because what else is he supposed to do? She has his heart. The mirror shows Charming running through the forest, gallantly, I guess, and Regina magics him instantly to the infinite forest.
I guess we have one of those now.
Yeah, we have an infinite forest. I believe it's the same infinite forest that Hansel and Gretel were poofed to when they didn't want to live with Regina.
Certainly that establishing shot seemed to establish that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the implication is very much that these are the same places.
Sort of.
It's called the Infinite Forest, I suppose.
Well, now we know it's called the Infinite Forest because who shows up to tell us about the Infinite Forest?
Oh, well, let me tell you. Charming is running through this Infinite Forest and Rumpelstiltskin arrives.
Local cryptid.
And local cryptid, he's perched on a log and says, you're in the Infinite Forest. And
great.
It's inescapable because, it's infinite. So he offers to help. So he has his mother's wedding ring, and he offers to help Charming by enchanting this ring, so it will glow brighter the closer he gets to Snow White. Mm-hmm. So we're really out here playing hot-cold.
Yeah.
Seems like the easiest way to find her. Yeah. And Charming looks at this ring and hears about the spell and says, hard pass, and starts swinging his sword at Rumpelstiltskin. Why not?
This man and his stealth. His stealth
It's not
sword
good.
swinging.
This scene is special. There's a lot of sword fighting and none of it good. At one point, Rumpelstiltskin quite literally just kind of lightly taps Charming on the butt. Just a little boop.
I was just like, hey buddy, I'm
Surprises
over here.
him from behind. You really suck at this. Do better.
You're fighting a person with magic who can
Yep,
teleport.
so, precisely. And so, a shocking no one, it doesn't work. And Rumpelstiltskin very easily overpowers him. And he says that he wants Charming and Snow to be together. So he's going to help him find her on one condition. Fantastic.
Right, what's the one condition?
Later.
Damn it.
In Storybrooke, David meets Mary Margaret by her car. Again.
So many times.
He will not...
Leave this woman's car alone.
He will not leave this woman alone.
No, but just leave the car out of it. This poor car has seen too much. It's always by the car.
I have seen too much. I'm sick of this man. Sick of him. And once again, he apologizes. Like, my guy, you've already done this. You've already said, I'm sorry, I didn't believe in you. And she said, that's fine. We can't be together still because it hurts.
Right.
So I don't know why he's...
Very clear.
Right. There was no gray area here. It was, I hear you. I understand there was evidence, but it hurts and we can't go back to where we were.
Right.
And he goes on this whole little speech about how he doesn't understand why he can't make the right choice. And he loves her. And nothing has made sense ever since he woke up from his coma.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Welcome
you know what?
to
My
the
life
real
is
world.
also... My life is also more simple when I'm asleep, so that's fair.
No, I totally understand him. But, like, welcome to the real
Right.
world, dude.
Exactly. And he gives this woman an ultimatum. You know how people love those.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to go to Boston. Again, that's the only other city we know. Gonna go to Boston unless you give me a reason not to. And she's just like, yeah, sorry about it. Have a safe drive. Get some road snacks, I guess. So she does not stop him, and she's still very hurt though, and she gets into her car. It's a good moment for everyone.
Yeah, all around.
Well, now we get to find out what that one condition is. I know you were concerned.
I was.
Well, you see, Rumpelstiltskin reveals the bottle of true love potion. You know, the one he's slowly been crafting this whole season, plucking hairs, creating magic, doing his thing. And then he has a weird comment about how he used to love someone long ago, and it was like a bright light, but then she died. And it's very heavily implied that this is the reason he wants to bottle true love.
Right.
And Rumpelstiltskin asks Charming to hide it in the belly of the beast for a rainy day.
Okay. Mixing a lot of metaphors.
Yeah, he does a lot of, like, vague posting.
Mm-hmm.
It's how he speaks.
Right. Just assume
Why
there's
not?
like
We go
7 messages hidden inside his one sentence at all times.
Exactly. Exactly. But we are not going to dwell on that. We're going right back to Storybrooke. Regina and Emma go to Mr. Gold's shop and they ask for his help. He says that he has a bottle of true love that he smuggled over from the Enchanted Forest. It was kind of like his... You know, like how in The Good Place there's the button that Janet can push that resets everything? It's like the override.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this for him. He had a little, like, a save button kind of thing to get himself out of this. Like, get out of jail free card, if you will.
Indeed. A skeleton key.
So precisely. So he's brought this over, and he says that retrieving this potion is the main problem, and it has to be Emma who does it. He turns to Regina and asks if their friend is still in the basement because the potion was hidden in her.
An upsetting sentence, you might think.
It
was. You would be
and
correct.
It was. Uh-huh. And it's okay. It gets more upsetting because he hands Emma her father's sword.
It's dangerous
Emma.
to go alone. Take this. Take this motherfucking sword.
Pretty much. So Emma, feeling different, goes to visit Henry. And he's still in his coma. And she's apologizing for not believing in him and leaves the book with him for when he wakes up. Shortly after, Regina arrives and also tells Henry that she is sorry. And she is crying. She's a mess. And who arrives? But Jefferson! Midweek Sebastian Stan, everyone!
I love Midweek Sebastian Stan.
It's what we deserve.
He is what we deserve.
He arrives all broody, and Regina's just like, not now, buddy. It's a bad time. And he says, too bad, where's Grace? You said, if I helped you get the apple, I would have my daughter. And she's like, nope. As far as I'm concerned, our deal was not completed because Emma did not eat the apple. Which was not what their deal was at all, but fine. Jefferson also tries to argue this, and she's like, nope, you can't kill me anyway, so go fuck off. I'm not helping you.
Great plan.
So, yep.
Great plan.
Yep, at this point, Emma's ignoring this whole take this sword and get the potion quest, because she is at Granny's bed and breakfast and goes to look for August. She discovers he is in bed, turning back to wood.
Yeah. It's upsetting.
It's upsetting. At first I was really upset because in season 2 we get him just as a full wooden man, and then Lo pointed out, no. There's no magic right now. He's just going to be a log, I guess.
A long puppet. One long puppet.
No, thank you.
Would you like a long puppet?
I would not, but thank you for asking.
Are you sure? He would be a very long puppet.
Oh, no. I don't even know what to say to that.
I'm upset about the thought of a long puppet is what I'm upset about.
A little bit.
A man-sized puppet?
Okay. You made it worse. Man-sized wood?
No. Well, that's all, folks.
We've arrived. Yep. Good night. Have a good one. See you for season 2.
Have it on.
But even though he is turning back into wood, he's happy that she finally believes.
Great.
And Emma says that, she can't save everyone without his help. And he's like, but he's like, no, you can do it. You can save Henry. And then he slowly turns back into wood as Emma stands by watching this happen.
An upsetting moment.
It's not good. She walks away from that and meets up with Regina. They're outside the clock tower and they enter the abandoned library that's not in use. There's an elevator hidden behind a wall.
Sure.
Why not?
We apparently have one of those now.
Sure, certainly. Why not? Why the fuck not? And it's one of those elevators you kind of have to operate from the outside. So she says, okay, Emma, you go in. I will stay here. I'm going to take care of this. Also, BT dubs, I trapped a friend as punishment in there in a different form. So, I guess have fun with that.
Good luck.
Bye. You know how when you make a curse, you make sure your friends get fucked over the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
That is how I am planning to cast my dark curse.
Oh,
just a heads up.
God, I can't wait. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah.
Emma descends down this elevator, holding her sword like she's never held one before, which is probably accurate.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
In the Enchanted Forest, Charming is confronting Maleficent in her castle, demanding to find the beast that guards the castle. Maleficent magic flings with her whooshy magic.
Yeah, she eats him.
Pushes it. Yeah.
She eats the man.
She fully eats
this
him.
This bitch empty. Yeet.
Get out. And she extinguishes all the light in the room. Except for, the fucking stained glass.
But, yeah, just so the entire, bank of stained glass windows, including a window that appears to be, the size and inspired by, the rose window in Notre Dame.
It's stupid. But gotta blow the candles out for ambiance.
For the drama.
We love a dramatic bitch. So you know what? You do you.
And I love that she, not only yeets him back, he's like, where's the beast that guards this castle? And she's like, it is me. Bitch, I am the beast.
And, she yeets him back, turns into a dragon, and they fight. Because what else are you going to do when you see a dragon?
You fight the dragon.
And Charming is trying to get the dragon to eat the egg. Because, gotta get it in the belly of the beast. Rumpelstiltskin said so.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but then he jumps on her back. It's a very weirdly choreographed sequence.
And it's going back and forth between his fight scene.
Right. So I'm going to explain it in 2 chunks because the whiplash will be too much, but it's important for everyone to know. Emma is fighting Maleficent's dragon at the same time as David is. They're happening concurrently in the episode, like it flashes back and forth. It's supposed to be like a mirrored moment.
Right.
I will not be describing it that way because I am but one humble person.
Yeah, no, it would be way too
much.
Just
picture it this way. It's a lot of, parallels. It's fun.
Yeah. He, doesn't he end up, essentially...
He, jumps on her back.
And, grabs the egg and, does he kind of, stick it in her fire gills or something?
Yeah, he, shoves it into her
fire...
She has fire gills. Yeah, she does.
Gills.
But she breathes air, so I have to assume it's for fire.
It's glowing that's where the fire comes from.
Right.
For the dragon.
He shoves it into that and then yeets himself out the window into the lake.
Great.
Right. And he rejoins Rumpelstiltskin, who's waiting on the shore, and he's like, great, give me the magic hot cold ring so I can find my true love, please, and thank you. And ever the romantic Rumpel says something is missing and transforms Charming's outfit into one with a flowy red cape. It's dramatic, it's romantic.
It's our pilot episode.
He's ready. It's the look. He's ready to play a really extended game of hot and cold.
Great.
To find his true love. I will say it's probably easier to say I will always find you if you have a ring
if you have a magic GPS ring. Yeah.
Precisely. But good for him. So again, back to Storybrooke, but you have to imagine this has already happened alongside the other dragon fight.
Right. Okay.
Imagination station.
Okay,
let's go.
Let's go.
Emma exits the elevator and is in the mining tunnels. We can only assume the same mining tunnels that we've seen before.
Right. So why did?
But Henry did not. I
don't know. Why did we not use this elevator to go down into the mines to retrieve Henry?
Or, more importantly, why did Henry not see a motherfucking dragon when he was down there?
That's an excellent question.
That's what I would like to know.
She just was in the other side of the tunnels at the time.
Oh, she could not be bothered. Which is fair.
Fair enough. She's like, absolutely, I will not be dealing with the 10-year-old.
No, absolutely not. Emma is walking through the tunnels, and she passes by the glass coffin, the iconic one that Snow's in. When she fights the apple, the one. And she backs up against a wall, or what she thinks is a wall. But it's not, because a giant green eye opens and she's backed up into a dragon. She fell for the oldest trick in the book. What an idiot.
Never touch the walls.
No. Love is in the walls.
But don't touch them.
No.
Look inside of them, but don't touch them.
Correct.
That's what Once Upon a Time has taught me.
That is the takeaway, I believe. Stepping back, Emma throws her sword to the side because she's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I don't know how to use a sword. And she pulls out her gun.
The famed dragon fighting weapon.
Yep. And she starts shooting at it, but it does nothing. She brought a gun to a sword fight and she lost.
Upsetting.
A dummy. Mm-hmm. The dragon moves into a chasm, and for a moment, Emma thinks she's gone, but oh no, she reappears. The dragon is back. But we're just gonna leave that for a minute to go check on the comatose child.
Great.
Mary Margaret is reading the storybook to him. I suppose she's figuring it worked last time someone was in a coma. Maybe it'll work this time. Solid logic, I guess.
I mean...
And why not?
You do what you gotta.
Right? What else are you supposed to do? And she's talking to him like he can hear her, as one does. And she says, I gave you the book to help you understand that life doesn't always have a happy ending. And Henry's heart rate crashes and doctors rush in. So you can assume this is not a happy ending.
No.
Things are not going well.
No, perhaps not.
They escort Mary Margaret out. And in this chaos of doctors running in and out of the room, a man slips through the secured door into the ward that we saw several episodes ago where Belle is being held prisoner, I suppose?
Right.
He gives a coffee to the front desk nurse and completely knocks her out. We know that move. It's Jefferson.
Hooray!
He's drugged someone else. Good for him. He goes immediately into Belle's cell and says, hey, here's where you find a man named Mr. Gold. Go find him and tell him that Regina locked you up. So the confused girl has a mission. Off she goes. We are going to go back to the dragon fight with Emma.
Great.
She has run out of bullets, even though the bullets are doing nothing. They have not done a single thing to this dragon.
Yeah, but she had to keep firing them just to see if, like, one of them would work.
That's true. She also absolutely lost count of her bullets, and it's very sad for her.
Indeed.
Poor Emma. The dragon suddenly rushes towards her. She grabs the sword that she has cast aside and throws it towards a glowing spot on the dragon's chest. She has perfect aim. It strikes, and the dragon falls. It was very simple, hardly an inconvenience.
I feel like she must frequent one of those axe throwing bars.
Right.
Because she has the full, like, perfect.
She had the curvature of, like, she had it down.
Like the she's got the weapon swirling so that it hits right with the amount of force to stick.
Right. She's good at this. She knows what she's doing.
Absolutely.
So the dragon has fallen. In the remains is a golden egg. Huzzah!
Oh, yay!
She did it!
Hooray!
In the Enchanted Forest, Charming is galloping through the forest to Snow's coffin. He shows up. The dwarves are standing around. They look forlorn and sad, and they say, Bud, you're too late. I don't know what to tell you. Charming asks if he can say goodbye to her, so they open up the coffin, and he kisses her. You know how you say goodbye to a corpse?
Of course, yep.
And Snow White awakens!
Hooray!
Yay! They walk along the beach together, and Snow asks how he found her, and he shows her the ring. You know, his mother's ring, which can only mean that his mother is dead, right?
I mean, she gave him the ring, but like...
But if he is pursuing someone else...
Again,
she must be dead, right? That was the understanding.
Was the understanding I had of their deal. By which I mean it was pretty explicitly stated.
Right. But we digress. Charming says he never wants to see that ring off of her finger, and he proposes. Snow accepts, by which I mean she says, what do you think? The most romantic of responses one could have.
I feel like this poor man is probably sitting there going like, well, like 3 weeks ago, you took a love potion and didn't remember who I was, and also you hated me and wanted me dead.
You tried to kill me once.
Then we
almost succeeded.
Then we kissed and you were cool again. But then I was thrown in a dungeon. I don't know.
I don't know. Can you give me a more concrete answer here?
But of course, David needs none of this.
No, he's just like fantastic. He has the confidence of a man who doesn't need a real answer to know what his woman wants. Apparently.
Evidently.
So they have their moment, and he says, hey, what are we going to do about my father and your stepmother?
An upsetting proposition.
It's not good. And naturally, Snow proposes that they take back the kingdom.
I have questions about this plan.
I do too.
She proposes taking back one kingdom. Whose kingdom? It seems there are more than one. Both?
The kingdom. You know, when they're combined, they're called
the kingdom.
The kingdom.
Of course. It's, of course, the kingdom of kingdom and the kingdom of the. And when together, they're the kingdom.
Precisely.
Right.
We are now back in Storybrooke. David has his truck all loaded to go to Boston, just like he promised. Emma is on her way back to the surface when suddenly the elevator comes to a halting stop. And who should appear at the top but Mr. Gold? And he says, I don't know what to tell ya. Regina sabotaged the elevator. You're going to have to climb. I don't know what to tell you.
Famously
climb on up.
Unshifty Mr. Gold.
Right. We've always trusted him in the past. We should do it now, too.
Right, of course. This has always been a good decision.
Yep. Emma starts to climb up, and he insists that she can't climb while holding the egg in her hand, and they're running out of time. So yeet the egg up, and Henry will be fine, and it's going to be great. Just do this. So Emma says, I've always trusted you in the past. It's never backfired before. Okay. So she throws the egg up to him, and then she finishes climbing out. Gold is gone.
Oh,
he's absolutely gone.
My
and
God.
Who else is there but Regina tied to a chair with, like, tape over her mouth.
My God. Oh, no.
You mean Mr. Gold was... Wait. Fuck. He was lying.
I mean, okay.
I need to listen to the episode.
Okay. In Emma's defense, you know I'm always ready to jump in.
I know. Please do, because I'm not ready for this.
I don't think he ever says any lie.
He said, doesn't he say Regina sabotaged them?
Oh, I guess he does say the lie. Yep, Regina sabotaged the elevator is a lie. Unless Regina did sabotage the elevator.
Which I don't think she did, because her whole thing is, I would like to save my son, please.
Yes. No, I would agree. Okay.
So there's...
I know. It's a lie.
Fuck
it's
a
straight lie.
It's
a straight
lie. So
lie.
angry. I am so angry. I can't believe I have to clock this right now.
No, I was ready to try. I was ready to try and jump in.
No, because the rest of it, he says Henry will be fine. Okay, that's fine. The rest of it's vague. But
right, and not
sabotaged.
Yep, that's a statement of fact of something that did not likely happen.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Well, you know, fuck Emma, because yikes, girl.
Yep. So, yeah, Gold tricked Emma into getting the egg for him. And suddenly, Regina's phone and Emma's phone both start to ring. Oh no, it's the hospital. This can't be good.
No.
And they rush to the hospital, where Dr. Whale and Mother Superior inform them that Henry has died. Mother Superior, you know, the blue fairy, the true villain, announces this by walking out of the room, saying, "You're too late," which is a very ominous and very upsetting sentence. I would like to.
The way they framed it, if you're thinking Blue's the main villain of the show, it looks like she murdered Henry.
She may have murdered a child.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yep. So naturally, Emma and Regina are both devastated. But we don't dwell on this long. We go to Mr. Gold's shop where he has the egg. He opens it up and reveals a bottle that has a potion in it. He hears he hears his front door open, and he quickly hides the bottle, saying, "Sorry, the shop is closed." And Belle enters, and she's confused and sad and says, I was told to find you and say that Regina locked me up. And he's just delighted. It's his true love returned. Forget the fact that the last time they saw each other, he was like, fuck you, fuck your life, get out. He's delighted to see her.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically he's thought she was full dead, so.
True. But he also was like, get the fuck out of my life.
Yeah, so. But then, you know, she died tragically and became a martyr, so.
Oh, you're right.
She didn't really die, but Regina told him that she's dead.
So that's fair. But he's delighted. He goes and he hugs her, and Belle's like, I'm sorry. Do I know you? And he says, no, but you will.
Upsetting. An upsetting thing to say, no?
I hate it so much. But we don't spend time on that. We're back at the hospital. Regina has completely broken down as she stares at Henry's lifeless body. She kind of just like crumples into Dr. Whale's chest and is comforted by him.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Go for it.
You do you, boo. And Emma approaches Henry and says that she loves him. And she kisses him on the forehead. Light radiates out, just like with Snow's curse breaking. And lo and behold, Henry has woken up. The curse is broken.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And we see magic just shoot through Storybrooke. And it kind of goes through all the townsfolk. We can assume the curse is breaking, because suddenly David just stops his truck right before he exits the city limits. But he's just at that line.
You know, We just have to really hope he doesn't take a really big U-turn.
Right. Because as we learned in season 2, if you cross the town line, you lose your memories. So I guess it's better that he stopped and just, I guess, reversed out of...
Right, especially because he's driving a pickup truck that is kind of notorious for having a shit turn radius.
Yeah. He just went reverse the whole way back into town. So Henry's awake and he tells Emma that she's broken the curse. And Regina is just distraught. And Blue Fairy kind of just turns, looks at Regina and says, I would go find a place to hide, which is menacing and probably a threat.
So true.
But doesn't matter. Before Regina leaves, she goes up to Henry and tearfully tells him that no matter what anybody tries to tell him, she really does love him.
It's a very
sweet moment.
Yeah. It's a great acting moment from Lana Parrilla.
Yes. We then go back to the Storybrooke Town Center where David has returned to town and immediately finds Mary Margaret. They stop and they stare at each other across the street. Mary Margaret's just kind of walking through, like, her curse is broken. Everyone knows who they are, but she's just kind of, like, casually meandering, like, maybe it doesn't affect her. Until she sees her charming, and they run towards each other, and they kiss. They have, she says the thing, she says, you found me, and he says, did I ever give you doubt, or whatever the line is. Did you ever doubt I would, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's great. We then go over to Regina. She is sobbing into Henry's pillow in his bedroom. It's very sad.
Poor Regina.
It's really sad.
Poor Regina, who has done nothing wrong ever.
Never. Mr. Gold is taking Belle through the forest. And he's like, come on, we have stuff to do. I know you don't know who I am, but this is fine. And suddenly she says, wait, Rumpelstiltskin. And he pauses. He's like, and he turns around and she says, I remember everything and I love you. And he says, I love you too. And they like hug and he goes, but there'll be plenty of time for that.
So he showed her who he was.
Insane moment.
Right away.
He has been waiting how long for that? Like, I recognize he thought she was dead, but still you are reunited with the person that you love.
And
you would think there would be something more.
Right. And now, not only are you reunited with the person you love, she remembers you now.
Right.
Like, this is your full being.
She remembers you and still loves you. That's the real kicker.
And, like, my God, he does not wait to show his true colors.
He's just like, there'll be plenty of time for that later. Don't worry about it. And he takes her to the well. We've seen it a few times already. And he takes out a love potion. And he makes some comment about, like, oh, this is, I need power. Magic is power.
He drops it in. And she's like,
he drops it in.
What are you, he's like, the waters are supposed to bring back something that was lost.
Yes.
And he drops it in. And she's like, what
have you lost? Like, what is it bringing back?
And he says, the infamous line, our publicity line for the rest of season, all of the lead up to season 2, magic is coming.
It's great.
And then he once again wastes zero time in showing exactly who he is to this woman, because she's like, why do you need magic? What's good that's going to do you? And he says, magic is power.
Yep.
So we know where his priorities lie.
And Belle should too. And the fact that she does not is pretty egregious.
The fact that this is literally their first uncursed interaction.
Right. Fucking insane.
And
I've said it once, I'll say it again. They work better together as Lacey and Rumple. Lacey gave no fucks. Lacey was turned on by this shit. We don't kink shame.
Lacey would have been into the power.
She would have been like, oh, fuck yeah, we'd do it together.
Yeah. 100%.
But alas. So he drops the potion in, and purple fog pours from the well, slowly encroaching upon the rest of the town. And everyone sees it coming. Unfortunately, Grumpy's not there to alert us of it.
We haven't established that trope yet, and I'm mad about it. Where is Grumpy telling me what's going on?
I need my town crier. Please and thank you.
Absolutely.
Emma sees this purple fog and asks Henry what it is, like the 10-year-old will know. And he says something bad.
It's happening in Oz.
Yes. So as the fog continues to come through, Regina looks up out of Henry's window, and she smiles her true Evil Queen smile as she sees the fog roll in. She knows what this is. She knows that it's magic. And then the final shot is of the town clock as it strikes 8:15 and is engulfed in magic purple fog. End of season. So.
Well.
I feel like it's anticlimactic, and I don't know if it's because I've seen it so many times, or...
I remember it feeling pretty dang epic in the moment.
That's fair.
I do remember.
Part of it is the CGI doesn't age well, and that's not the show's fault.
No.
Like, it wasn't good then, it's just worse now.
Yes. No, I mean, I remember that, especially the dragon fight scene being really epic.
Right.
I remember the reveal of magic coming being, like, incredibly, like, exciting.
Right.
And, like, of course it was tense because we didn't know what was going on with Henry. Like, we did not know that this boy was going to go live a long, fruitful life with Cinderella. At the time.
I wish you had not said that.
But
we're here
now. So, I mean, I remember the first time through it being, like, incredibly compelling. And I would argue, like, in the scheme of this show, still a very good episode. Like,
that is fair. Compared to some of the other shit episodes we've been forced to watch, this is a good episode.
There is so little that is extraneous. Like, maybe the Graham stuff. The Graham stuff's extra. We don't need that.
No, that was a weird thing to include that added very little.
That was for Tumblr.
And Tumblr, I'm sure, was very happy.
That was so we could say we've had Jamie Dornan and Sebastian Stan in the same episode.
And I'm sure we all freaked out.
Right. Like.
But I will say, I think we talked about this before, I think in the context of of season 1, they're really setting up Jefferson to be a big thing.
Yes.
That's why they leave this whole thing kind of ominous of, oh, what's he doing?
Right.
Why is he here?
Like, yeah, because the Jefferson stuff is definitely our one loose end.
Yes. I think
that's not tied up or not intentionally cliffhangy.
Yes, and I think that's why it's a good episode, at least for this show, because they do wrap up everything. There is nothing at the end where we're like, no, wait, no, there's one thing. Catherine, we never established who kidnapped her. No one seems concerned about this.
I think we're supposed to assume Regina kidnapped her.
Yes, but in the context of the show, they were all just like, she's leaving.
Oh yeah, no.
Before the curse was broken.
To them, no. Like, nobody gave a shit.
And that's the weird thing.
Nobody gave a shit.
That's the weird thing.
And what?
But okay. Yes, as viewers, we absolutely know, like, okay, Regina was up to her shady shit.
Yeah. I'm sure the writers went, the viewers know what's going on. We're not going to spend any more time on this.
That's fair.
We got magic to bring to Storybrooke, I guess.
We got magic to do just for you.
But yes, I absolutely think that season 2 was definitely meant to feature Jefferson pretty heavily.
Agreed.
And
if I recall, it does start that way. We had a lot of very Jefferson-centric episodes, and then suddenly he just kind of fizzles off.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, it's probably right around the time that the first Avenger took off and did really well, and
weird.
Then probably I don't know, a little film called The Winter Soldier started filming.
Weird. Huh. Fascinating.
So
weird.
You know, like he pops back in and out, but definitely
no longer like a main
his storyline, as I remember in season 2, like starts heavy. And then he very clearly needed to get out of a contract and was like, so they're like, okay, just wrap it up real fast.
Yep. And they tried, to their credit.
And they tried. We'll see if they succeed later.
Exactly. far as the plot points we've established in season 1, I do think we check all the boxes of, for the most part. There's some things I can get nitpicky on, like King George saying, I'm going to kill your mom.
Okay.
We don't address that.
Oh, no, and we won't. Let's be clear.
No.
That's going to be left dangling forever.
So I'm looking at my notes. I really don't have a lot of things to say on this because it is a finale episode. Like, everything is kind of wrapped up. There's nothing really to get angry about or to really nitpick on because they do, for the most part, wrap up all those things that have been dangling all season.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've got no squawks, no beefs. I've got nothing that's, like, really upsetting. I do have an argument I would like to make.
I'm so ready. I was hoping you would.
And it's a good argument, but I would like to make the argument that this is the episode where the writers don't know it, but we have officially now switched over onto the track of this is no longer Emma's story, this is Regina's story.
100% on board. What moment in this episode has solidified that for you, though?
It is the moment where she is crying and looking at Henry and saying, no matter what anyone tells you, I love you. And, like, I need you to know that. And then leaves. And it's, like, because that's the moment that we're officially in redemption mode. Even though we get this ominous little smile from her on the end, like, that is very clearly the moment we are meant to, like, latch onto for her redemption. And, like, there's light here. There's something to be saved here. Now, in a shorter, more well-put-together show, probably we would stay with Emma a lot more. And, like, keep going on her journey. But
she's just less interested.
I think she has completed her original arc at this moment.
Yes, she has found roots. Her whole thing was, I don't go places. I don't have family.
I don't do
savior. Shit. I'm not the savior. Magic is fake. Fuck you.
Right, and in this episode, she completes that arc.
She has roots. She allegedly has her kid.
Right. Like, she's got family. She's got everything she has seemed to want now, or has, you know, if we're looking at her hero's journey, all of her refusal of the call stuff, she has now accepted. Right. She's coming. Yes. And, you know, so now we're kind of on the return side of all of the hero's journey where she's returning to the fold and, like, you know, but she's really gone through the full motion, whereas Regina's just starting hers. Right. And so I think this is the episode where, again, I don't think the writers know this for a very long time.
They don't know it till, like, season 3 when they're in Neverland. I think that's when they catch on to, we should... She likes her son a lot, and that's kind of her thing now.
Right. Like, I mean, we get more with the Cora stuff.
Right. Well, and that stuff is interesting because her lens of I want to be a good mom, you can really see the parallels of it's how her own mother treated her.
Exactly. And
it's good framework. It's good framework for she's a flawed parent, but this is her background.
Exactly. And I think to the writers, if we're making the argument they did not know it was her story while giving us a story that is hers. Yep. Like, I think to them, they were trying to write something to make her relapse. Yes. They were like, okay, we want to give her this redemption arc, and then we're going to relapse her. She's going to be evil again. And in doing that, they just gave us a more compelling, well-rounded character. Who makes more sense.
Every time she has a redemption arc, she gets a little bit better and learns something new. Unlike Rumpelstiltskin, who will learn the same lesson 48 times and continues to be a literal piece of shit.
Right, who in his literal first moment with his true love in Storybrooke is like, yes, but power.
There'll be time for, like, love and shit later.
Yeah, ew.
Calm down.
Ew. Get your grimy, filthy paws off David. Of me. I want my power. Give me my power.
I will say, it is no secret that back in yonder day I was a Rumble shipper. I loved that ship. I distinctly remember watching this finale the first time, and even then thinking, what the fuck? You've been pining after her.
Yeah.
And the first, like, true sentence you say to her is, there'll be time for that later.
Right. Like, yeah, there needed to be. I recognize it's a jam-packed episode and we wanted to bring Jamie Dornan back, but cut Jamie Dornan and give them, like, a moment.
It's weird because that does become such a central ship in the show. They keep coming back to it, and they birth Gideon, who fucks everything over. Like they're very important to the core of the show.
Yeah.
They never once frame it as a good or healthy or nice relationship. They keep trying to. They say this is nice, and I'm like, no, that's a piece of shit with foil on it.
It truly is the one ship on this show that I am like, you are the 2011 ship.
Yeah.
You are the Arya and Ezra of Pretty Little Liars of this show. Where it's like,
it's true.
They keep telling you it is magic and perfect and romantic, and you are like looking at it and you're like, everything he is doing is manipulative and wrong and mean.
This is toxic and unhealthy is what this is.
And you want it so badly to be so good because the Disney Beauty and the Beast story is so charming and so exactly right, and I don't care what any little nitpickers say. They do a fantastic job of showing the way that the Beast changes for her and she changes for him, and they kind of meet in the middle because when you're in love and it's like a true healthy love, you grow together, you change together,
that's life. It's called
you make a life together, right?
Like Rumpelstiltskin never does. The only time I will say is like the 5 minutes we get before Belle T-poses and dies. You can see like they have like their life on the edge of the earth where the sun doesn't set or some weird bullshit.
Whatever that is. Whatever that hot nonsense is. Right.
Like that's the 5 minutes where I'm like, oh, that's nice for them.
Right. And then
we don't see that. They just show it to us at the end, and we have to imply they got there healthily and safely.
And then she dies, and he goes right back.
Exactly.
Bullshit. Like,
what a piece of shit human.
It's just, he's infuriating. He is.
I cannot. So I didn't really have a point here other than that's a bullshit scene.
That is a bullshit
Fuck him.
Scene.
Fuck him. I guess I did have a rant. Surprise. It came to me.
So, yeah. No, I think it was a great episode. Again, I am fully on board with this thought that they don't know it. We are now on Regina. We're in Regina's story now. This is, they keep trying to tell us about Emma, and they keep trying to make the story about Emma. But again, she's already completed the stated arc from the beginning. And then they try to give her more stuff. But
no, you're the Savior 2.0. Now you're the Savior. Now you're the Dark One.
But you're an orphan. You're not an orphan. You've got parents, but I was an orphan. Okay.
Oh, now you get to have another shot. Yeah, oh my god, that's season 3. Isn't she have to admit that she's an orphan or something?
Yeah, in Neverland, she felt like an orphan, and it makes her parents sad. Which, like, yeah, she felt like an orphan because for 28 years she thought she was an orphan. Like,
fair, but
she hasn't gone to therapy to address that, so.
Well, no, because Dr. Hopper realized that he got his PhD from a curse, but still continues to practice
and yet
therapy.
Continues to practice therapy in Storybrooke.
A weird choice. So, I don't have anything else specifically about the episode, but I think we should do like a retrospective of the season.
Absolutely, yes.
What are your overall thoughts looking at all 22 episodes and the journey it has taken us on? Because I certainly have thoughts.
It is a journey. I mean, I still remember just how excited I was to watch this show back in the day when it was first airing. I looked forward to it every week. I scheduled time to watch it. Like it was
a thing.
It was appointment television for me.
It was back in the day too that you had to go to like sketchwebsite.com if you wanted to rewatch it if you didn't catch it when it aired live.
Or you had to go to Hulu the day after.
Yes.
And I would wait till for Hulu the day after because I was living in dorms and didn't have cable.
Right.
Or didn't have a television. I had the internet.
Right.
And you couldn't stream things day of.
No. And I remember I had groups that would like watch it and then immediately go to like chat forums to read theories.
Right. Like, it was...
immediately after.
It was so much fun. So I'm very, very fond of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I especially think the last half of this season,
starting with what happened to Frederick, I think, is like this turning point.
And it is just good. Like, there are a couple of episodes that kind of feel like it stalls out a little bit, but nothing, like, there's no, it's like, it's one episode, and then you go back, and it's like, oh, this is super fun again.
Like, those first, like, 6 episodes up until, actually, really, like, those first 6 episodes are just character backstory.
Yep.
Then we have, like, our first true arc, which is her running for sheriff.
Right.
Her working with gold, realizing it was a shit idea. Does it anyway.
Exactly. Like.
Then we have our, I guess, second arc, which is Catherine murder.
Yeah.
Shit.
I would say once we hit 7:15 a.m. So that's episode 10. Yes. That's, like, where it really, like, kicks off, and we are in, like.
The affair really is where things get spicy for several reasons. Is what I'm hearing.
I mean, that wasn't why, but yeah, like, it is an episode that it has weight. I remember, like, they did a good job it was kind of one of those first episodes where it felt like, oh, we're seeing the stuff in the Enchanted Forest because it has direct impact on what we are seeing in Storybrooke. As opposed to, here's what's going on in Storybrooke, and here's the backstory of what was happening.
Right.
Like,
exactly. So it's a turning point where it's not just vignette style, I guess.
Yeah, what we're seeing, we are not being introduced to the character we're seeing in Storybrooke. We already know that. It's an established character. Right. We don't need to meet them. We need to know. So now what they're showing us is something that is thematically linked to what's going on in Storybrooke. And what's mirrored there. So, I mean, it's a fun episode. Or a fun season. I think definitely I don't remember some of those episodes being quite the slog that they are.
Right.
And there are a couple that are rough.
And that could just be that we've seen it 98 times.
Right, but still, I mean, it's like good TV shouldn't feel like a slog to get through it, even if you've seen it 100 times.
That's fair.
I think about I mean, obviously a very different show, but, like, I think about watching the first season of The Good Place.
Oh.
And, like, even there are episodes that are, like, a slog. The slower ones are, like, they're a joy to sit through.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree.
A very different show. Half an hour comedy is far different from an hour-long drama, but good TV should be able to hold your attention, even if they're having to give you just a ton of information. Right.
And I'm kind of looking through speaking of, like, slog episodes, what is your least favorite of season 1?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of expected because we keep harping on it.
Let's hear it.
But, like, I was looking at the episodes, and I would say probably... So I have 2 choices for episodes that I did not understand why we needed them. Just kind of period.
Episode 5, because I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Oh, of course it's episode 5. God, it's that still small voice. What the fuck did we need with Jiminy Cricket? Like,
I don't know.
None of what happened in either side of that episode mattered.
And if they really wanted to bring the Jiminy Cricket piece in, focus more on the Pinocchio and Geppetto aspect of that story, because that carries more weight in later episodes.
Right. No, like, it's
a stupid... It was literally just, here's who Dr. Hopper is.
Right. And then the stuff in Storybrooke was
Puppet
like...
trauma. There's a mine.
Okay.
Also, probably don't, like, tell a kid that you think they're crazy or they might run into a mine. I don't know.
Right. Like, neither neither part of that episode, the Enchanted Forest or the storybook, neither side mattered. So that felt like a slog. And then the other one is Dreamy, but I liked.
Okay, I was going to say that one.
I like the acting in Dreamy a lot more.
But I do think it comes back more in season 2, but in the scope of season 1, the Dreamy Nova plot matters 0.
Well, and they break up in Good Morning Storybook and then are like,
oh my god,
never heard from again. So like,
it's
again, it
weird.
Is very much, we need a little more of the information because we need a little more about fairy dust and just that, I don't know, the blue fairy is the main villain of this show. But
that's all I get from that episode is that she's a bitch to Nova.
Right, like we get, okay, blue fairy's kind of an ass. Also, the very end, the last scene where David is escorted to the sheriff's station. Like,
right.
But again, that one I think is better constructed and the acting's better and it has at least a couple of moments where you're like, okay, this story is worthwhile watching. So between the two, I'm like, that's still small voice. It's just a slog. There is no reason for that episode. You could neatly cut it out and take it out.
Yeah.
And
nothing would matter.
Nothing would change.
I absolutely agree. So then flipping that, what is your favorite episode in season 1?
Okay, so I, again, have 2.
Is one of them the stable boy?
Of course it is. Of course it is. It is a masterclass in acting. 2 for 2, girl. I picked a second one knowing you would just ask me.
And is the other one hat trick?
No.
So fuck you. Okay.
Thank God. I tricked you. No, it is not. Although hat trick is such a fun time. No. I love the Stable Boy. Stable Boy is 100% like, I just think it's good television. It's surprising.
And plot relative.
Yes. It is so important.
We need that backstory for the evil queen to tell us why she is here.
Right. No, and like, it's the first time we get the once formula of here's your villain, here's your tragic backstory that makes them turn into a villain, which makes it surprising because at this point we were kind of just expecting the evil queen is the evil queen because the evil queen is evil.
Because like Snow told us in episode 1, she's jealous that Snow is prettier than her.
Right, of course. So it's like really,
naturally,
it was exciting and refreshing to like suddenly be like, oh, interesting. Okay, and you kind of suddenly understood her. Also, just a masterclass in both acting and casting.
It's so well done.
The way that Lana Parrilla is able to completely change who she is, even though there is nothing changed about her physically.
It's so good.
It's so impressive. And of course, I always have to shout out Bailey Madison as Little Snow.
Earlier this week, this is relative, I promise. Locally famous Matthew Winter was asking, like, oh, like, I can't believe how similar they look. They could be related. And Keely chimed in and said, aren't they cousins? And I said, I don't think so. And she goes, I thought they were. She responds back like 20 minutes later and says, what the fuck? They're not related.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
No, they're so well cast. And she just does such a great job. And again, it's one of this show's weird talents.
Yep. Except for with August. That's the one offensive
it is the
deviation.
One you're just like, oh, what? Okay. Why?
It's upsetting.
Okay. No, my other one would be Red Handed.
Is it because Red ate her boyfriend?
It does not have to do with the fact that Red ate her boyfriend. It is just well-crafted television.
It is such a good 45 minute. Good. Mm-hmm.
It is like,
it's dark.
It's super dark.
It's
It's weird. It's out of left field. Like,
yep.
Even watching it now, I was like, oh, like,
right.
And I thought it was such a departure, but also, again, one of those episodes that just show what the show can be. Because again,
yes,
what we're getting in Storybrooke and what we are getting in the Enchanted Forest are completely meshed. We know why we're seeing Red's story, because
absolutely,
like, she's the center of our focus in Storybrooke, and the Storybrooke stuff, even though Red is the center, Red is what leads us to the Catherine reveal and the heart in the box, and
it's so good.
It's so good. It's a good episode of television. It's compelling. You want to watch the whole thing. It's dark. It's grisly. I enjoyed it.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. I think for me an honorable mention is Heart of Darkness. Yes, I love me some bitchy evil snow.
It is fun.
Like
it is very fun.
It's plot relative only because now we know that's how he made his love potion. He needed her to give, like,
right.
It was all part of him crafting this shit. Fine. Don't care about that. It's just fun.
No, that's such a fun
don't
episode.
Give a fuck snow.
That is such a fun episode. Like, and there are some bangers in this season that are just fun. Hat-Trick is fun.
Right.
I mean, Hat-Trick is weird and crazy and dark, but
it's fun.
It is fun.
Cartography, man, you gotta watch out for it.
Does he, practice cartography?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Like, absolutely. Do you have any other least favorites that you would like to give honorable mention to?
Oh,
or is it
God,
just
I have
number?
A lot of...
Is it just number 5?
No. I think this one's tricky because it was a fun one to record and I enjoyed it, but I think the Cinderella one for me is always just a weird one because we never see her again.
Right, like we only get her in bits and pieces. I would agree.
And the only thing we get from that is Rumpelstiltskin killed the fairy godmother, I guess, and is a shady bitch.
Right.
And
and steals babies.
And steals babies, but we never deal with that again.
Right. Local cryptid. Rumpelstiltskin has a baby room, and we are not dealing with that.
Yeah, you thought you were done hearing about the baby room. There's a throwback for you. And so I think, I like the pilot because the pilot's fun, but those first, 6 episodes where we have the formula of character, innocuous character and backstory.
Yes.
Are just
Well, especially once and again, totally different experience watching it completely blind.
Right.
Where you do not know who's important or why you're getting this information. But now that we've seen this first season, and of course we've seen the whole show, it's like, why did we spend a whole episode on Cinderella other than to give us a little bit of Emma's backstory? And why did we spend a whole episode on Archie? We don't need it.
And same with Hansel and Gretel. The one thing we got from that is she got the magic fairy dust. But she got whatever the fuck from the witch.
Yes.
And Regina needed, that could have been a scene.
Yes.
So I think that's the rough thing with those first batch of episodes. You can go back and find the one important thing in each, but each one did not have to be a full episode.
Right. And it very much strikes me as they don't know who's going to be important.
Yeah.
So they're going, it feels like the original idea was very much okay, we're going to introduce the whole town.
Yeah.
And then, everybody's going to be important, kind of Orange is the New Blackie sort of thing. Yep. Where it's you get every cast member's full backstory.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if you've seen any of How I Met Your Father, the reboot that's basically the Lizzie McGuire reboot that we didn't get because Hilary Duff is starring in it.
Right.
The end of episode 1, she said they were at a proposal, an engagement party, and she tells her kiddo, and that night I met your father. So the rest of the season is just random people that were at that engagement party that may or may not be the father. It's weird.
Yeah. No.
And that's how it feels, because you're sitting there going, this is going to come back. It didn't come back.
Right. No.
What?
It very much, it does kind of remind me of Orange is the New Black, where it's I think it almost feels like they went in thinking this is going to be a huge ensemble cast.
Right.
and like we're just going to spend a lot of time with the residents of this town and kind of explore everybody's identities.
Yes, give it to me.
I mean, like, absolutely.
There's so many bullshit random people that I need to know who they are.
Who was the carrot man?
Bad.
Who was the carrot man?
Carrot man.
Who was the carrot man?
Oh my god.
But like,
I'm back to being unwell.
But unlike Orange is the New Black, where it's very much a full ensemble cast, and you're going to spend time with every single person, and it interweaves and stuff,
and intersects, and it matters to other things.
No, this is very much like, okay, we're going to introduce this whole town. Man, this town has a lot of people. Could we maybe pare that back?
Right. There's so many episodes that are on their own island.
Yes. Cinderella's on her own island.
Yes.
Jiminy's on his own island.
Mm-hmm. And it's like they remember, oh shit, we should tie this to the plot. Let's throw a thing in there that might be important later.
Mm-hmm.
But those first 6 really feel like a tease where you're like, you don't know what the plot is because you're just getting vignettes.
Right.
You're just getting fragmented stories.
Yes, absolutely. Which, again, was fun at the time, but then it does not make for a good rewatch because once you know the information's not important, you're like, oh my god, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Why did you waste your time and budget on this?
Yep, absolutely. This is going to be like a surprise question that I did not prepare you for, but what, episodes aside, do you have a favorite moment from the season?
Okay, favorite moment. Do you have one while I think?
Okay, so this might be a cop-out, but I can't think of a specific moment. But for me, it's just every sassy bullshit thing that Rumpelstiltskin says. That means nothing.
That's so true. Those are so fun.
Right, like, it's not a specific moment. It's just when he says shit like, what do you need it now that it's not on your head?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the weird shit like that where I'm like, I know this matters so fucking little to the plot, but I'm having a great time with
so
whatever this is.
He is genuinely so much fun in this role.
Yeah.
And, like, I know we call it out every once in a while, but oh my god, Robert Carlyle in this role, they could not have picked somebody better. I know we just get so mad about Rumpelstiltskin and Gold all of the time. But he's
a fun character to hate.
He's so fun.
I just wish they had never tried to paint him as a redeemable character. Just let us hate him. Let us realize he's a morally gray piece of shit.
Yeah, right. Like,
let us live in that moment. It's a fun moment to live in. No one was mad about it.
Right, let him be chaos.
Let him try to have his Belle moment and have Belle be the badass bitch and go, deuces, motherfucker. I deserve better.
Yeah.
And let him continue just to be a piece of garbage because he doesn't care. He just wants power and we love that for him.
Right, and have him be the weird little imp.
Yeah,
as Regina says. I don't think she calls him a weird little imp, but I do believe she calls him an imp at one point.
She does. She calls him a lot of things. But okay, what's your joke favorite moment? I know what your your both of our probably favorite moment as far as the scope of the show.
No, my favorite moment, the one that jumped into my head, because of course it will never be a serious moment when you ask me what my favorite moment is.
No.
I'm not a serious person. I will jump right to the moment I think is the funniest thing in the whole series, and that is when Emma goes to take a bite of the apple and Henry grabs it and throws it and is like, don't eat that. Just tosses it over his shoulder.
Where'd you get that? Don't eat it.
It's so funny.
That's a good point. I know we shit on Henry a lot.
It's so funny,
but he says some of the funniest shit in the show, and it's not meant to be as funny as it is the thing.
It's such a funny moment because it's just so out of left field. And there's part of me that's like, did he just improvise that? Because if he improvised that was perfect. Just
it is
such a 10-year-old move to just grab it and throw it away.
Right.
No.
And I think that's part of the charm of this season is the moments that don't take themselves seriously.
Yes.
The show forgets its place sometimes and tries to get real serious.
Well, and
there's shit like that.
That's why I think we end up, especially later, it's why you gravitate towards Regina. It's why you gravitate towards Rumple. It's why you gravitate towards Hook it is because none of those 3 actors are taking themselves seriously. They are just here to have a good time. Like, they know what the camp is. My God. They know what the show is. And they are like, great, this is a paycheck. They're here for it. This is fun. I'm going to have fun. Great.
Right. There was a moment in this episode where JMO, and again, this is no fault of her own, but she's trying to, Regina is openly sobbing, and Emma is trying to be emotional. It looks like she's high as a kite.
That's really high in that shot. It was mean of them to leave that in.
I'm sure there were other takes that were much better. It just, it's the same energy as the episode before when Henry's just like, you don't believe, and she's like, Henry, magic isn't real.
Yeah, again, it was very much like okay, someone is giving someone's giving an energy, and you are not matched to it.
Right. It's like when you're an extra in a stage performance and you think you're the main character, so you're like overacting all of it, and you just look like a freaking idiot to the rest of the audience. Like, what is that person doing?
So, yeah.
What is this ensemble member doing?
Yeah.
Which is weird because Emma's not an ensemble member, but it gives off the same energy.
Yeah, no, it was a moment. It was, again, it was mean of them to leave that shot in because I am sure there were better shots of her, even if she wasn't crying, looking emotional. She looked like she was trying to cry.
Yeah, and it wasn't working.
And it wasn't working out. But no, okay. So, favorite serious moment. I think we're both in agreement on this.
It's got to be the scene from the Stable Boy, right?
Right, where she turns, like, the moment she turns
goes
into
from
evil queen.
It's so fucking good.
It's so good. I mean, again, there are many Rumpelstiltskin scenes that I think, I'm surprised we didn't put a Rumple and Regina moment in, but I think we just didn't get enough of them this season.
No, and we get more later because they fuck.
Never say those words again.
He's 3 for 3 on the Mills family.
On the Mills family tree.
It rhymes even.
I know. It's terrible. Just hot garbage over there, but
those moments are my favorites with the two of them. Like their acting chemistry is great.
And again,
you just don't get enough of it.
2 people who are very, very good at matching an energy.
Yes.
They're always on the same page.
Right.
Like, even if that page is insane and just...
They're on it together.
Wildly weird and out there, and he's descending from the ceiling. They're on the page together.
They sure are.
So, yeah, no, I would agree. That moment of just... turning, and then I would say runner-up being from this episode where it's again very quick, where Regina looks at Henry and is like, no matter what anybody tells you, I love you. Like,
so good. It's so good.
Again,
it's a good moment.
I love a turning point, as we can see from these 2 moments, because it's the turning point of the evil queen.
Yep.
And it's the turning point of here's her redemption. And again,
I
am very much, we are on Regina's story now.
Absolutely agreed.
This is now Regina's story. Emma's a supporting character.
Not mad about it.
They don't know it yet, but that is the case.
Absolutely. Any more cumulative season 1 thoughts before we go over our lists one last time?
I'm very excited for season 2.
Season 2 is probably my favorite season.
100%. It's as I recall, especially the first half of the season.
First half.
The
chorus stuff is just
incredibly good television.
Yep.
So I'm very excited for that.
Cannot wait.
But cumulatively, season 1 was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's fun.
I
mean, it's bad, but it's fun.
I highly recommend people watching it. I don't know what I would do without the show. So
no, it's my emotional support show.
Exactly.
It's good. It's one of those shows where I can put it on and have it in the background and just feel happy.
Yeah, right. It just brings a level of serotonin. Because sometimes Robert Carlyle will do something weird and wiggly with his fingers.
Oh, this time he stares. He says the word slide and like wiggles his fingers towards David. It's weird.
And that's around the same time as the weird tap on the butt with the sword. So
listen, we don't kink shame. So should we go over our lists, our items one last time?
Sure.
Well, we will post final photos at some point during our full...
Yes, there will be the...
hiatus. We will show you the finals. We will wrap that up. But just
stuff.
to talk it through, anything to add for you from this episode?
No, nothing to add to either shrubbery, but we can kind of walk down the family tree, if you will, as we know. It is what it is.
I wish we didn't have to.
It is what it is. Okay, so at the top, we've got Henry Sr. and Cora, who give birth to Regina, obviously.
Right.
And then same kind of generation would be Leopold and whoever his wife would be, giving birth to Snow. And then sort of King George.
We don't know her name yet. That's right.
Correct.
That's right.
And we have King George, who is not technically related to David, but kind of goes on the tree with David.
I mean, technically...
Like... There's no genetic material as far as we know.
Yeah.
But
we don't know how it happens.
Exactly.
To be fair. It's a hazy detail that they lay very vague intentionally.
Correct. So he's just kind of there. He was referred to as father a lot, so I'm going to let it stand. He's not going to stick around for very long, so it's fine. No. So then, obviously, we've got, and this is where it gets a little complicated.
A little?
So, obviously, kind of in the same generation are Regina, Snow, and David. Mm-hmm. But Regina then marries Leopold, so she is Snow White's stepmom. And then Snow and David have Emma. Emma and Mystery Father have Henry.
Right.
Henry Jr., who is then adopted by Regina, who is his great-grandmother. And then, of course,
please stop.
That's where we're going to leave it, because technically Rumpelstiltskin hasn't even entered this tree yet. Technically.
But he is on the fuck firm. No, he's not on the fuck firm officially yet.
He is because Belle. So yes,
but not to
our core. No, he's not. He's not attached to the fuck. He's just kind of a berry dangling over here. I don't know.
That's
okay. So the fuck fern is prolific.
Holy shit.
It's okay. All right. So we'll start with Emma, because that's pretty easy. Emma has had weird tension with Regina. We're going to call that they've had weird tension. And that's kind of it. Right. She's also had weird tension with August.
Fair.
So those are her two little connections.
That morning, how do you say no to that?
You can't. It looks too painful to say no.
She also...
Oh, and Graham. Of course, Graham. I forgot because,
Well, so Graham is also is connected to Regina, so that's already cute for them.
Yeah, so we've got...
the little parallelogram for them already.
Like, rhombus. Because, obviously, Graham is connected to both Regina and Emma. And then, also, Regina, we're really headed towards a weird moment count with Jefferson and David, but not officially, so... we'll let it be. We'll let it be for right now. And then, so that's that side of the fuck fern. Then, of course, there's Snow and David, who are kind of over in their own world.
I always find you world.
Yep, but
also
Snow
at this point
also has a connection to Whale, because they had a one-night stand. And so... that's kind of over in that realm. And then Whale kind of seems to have a thing with Ruby, but not like really. But Ruby also has her boyfriend, Peter, who she ate. I don't know if you remember. Ruby ate her boyfriend. So, Red ate her boyfriend. So... oh,
you forget on the little Catherine and...
oh, yep. And of course, Catherine. We have Catherine.
Back who's over there with, the Charmings.
Yeah, so Catherine's with the Charmings connected to David. But also she has Frederick attached to her. Because they're married.
This is insane.
And then, of course, down in the corner is Rumpelstiltskin and Belle. They don't have any other connections yet.
We don't have Bay's mother yet, do we?
No, we do not have any. We know there is a mother, but we don't know it so much in the way that Henry's father is in pencil. We can put Bay's mother in pencil, but
cute for us,
And
season 2 just makes this get so much more complicated.
And if that, and this wasn't complicated enough. And that's kind of where we leave it. That's pretty much it. We've got some weird there's Cinderella and what's his bucket.
They're not connected to the core.
No, and they won't be, so I'm not going to. Here's the thing. If the people are not eventually connected to the fern in some way, I'll probably mention them and then
prune it.
Like there'll be an honorable mentions list to the side because this thing is gonna get
you gotta
tangled.
Prune the bushes a little bit
for the health of the fern. it's to be out.
I wish we would stop talking. Oh, I have tears.
It's you gotta prune it because oh my god, it's gonna get too big.
Valid.
I cannot wait for everyone to live with the realization I had so many months ago when I realized just how many lines were going to have to be drawn to Rumpelstiltskin.
You know what? The guy gets around. Good for him.
Live your best life. Sleep with 7 generations of a family. Whatever.
When you're a local cryptid, what does it matter?
Go dig in the woods. Sleep with women. It's great. Tap men on the butt with your sword.
Do what makes you happy.
How's the lie count and the bean count and the curse count?
Okay. Well, we'll start in go from least exciting to horrible.
Great.
We are ending with, we still just have 1 town curse.
Excellent.
It's now broken. That's nice for us.
It is a broken town.
It's broken. It's broken, but we have not been sent back yet, so it's like half broken.
Right. It's broken in that we have our memories back.
Right. So that's nice. Bean count. We have 1 final bean. We have told, no, there's 1 more, and it's gone.
Great.
So 1 time now they've told us we have no more magic beans.
Okay, so we have had 1 final bean.
Yep. The superpower. Now, again, I'm but one humble person. Some of these may not be correct. I may have made incorrect rulings, but this is based on what I have done.
Mm-hmm. We have more hard and fast rules now than we did at the beginning.
We've learned, yes. But that being said, with the rules as they were up to this final episode, there are 18 times that the superpower could have been used, or should have been used. Of those 18 times, it failed 12. So, I don't know.
It's like 2/3 of the time.
It's a really good superpower, guys. It's very trustworthy.
And this drives me nuts because, again, just don't frame it as a superpower, and this is a non-issue.
We didn't have to be here.
Again, you could have left it behind. You could have left it behind with Henry and been like, I was talking to a child, and that's how I explained it. But she tells it to adults.
Right. So here we are.
I would be ready. Again, you all know how ready I am to argue on behalf of these writers.
Yeah.
I am ready to jump in.
No, you are
try to find their logic.
Yes.
And try to find what they're thinking.
But then they do shit like this one where Rumpelstiltskin says she sabotaged the elevator and then leaves.
Right. And she does not, she kind of hesitates, but
But never once say you're lying, or I don't want to trust you.
Or like
you've burned me 12 times. Why would I trust you this time? I don't know.
And again, I think it would be one thing if you had said to Henry, the 10-year-old, I have a superpower. And then with everybody else, we're like, I have really good instincts. I have good intuition. I'm pretty good at telling when people are lying.
I have good insight checks. I rolled nat 20s on those insights.
Right, like things like that. I don't know. Like, but when you frame it to an adult as I have a superpower,
it's a weird fucking thing to say.
It becomes, okay, then you are correct 100% of the time.
Yep.
Or at least a 95.
I'm sad. And it's going to get worse. Like, do not worry. It will get so much worse.
So sad. So, for season 2, here's my question. Are you starting fresh? Are you keeping a full tally? Are we doing both? I mean, I guess at the end we could just tally up the totals from every season.
I believe from our arts and crafts day, I think I have it for each season.
Perfect.
And then a grand total at the end. So season 2, I will come back with a clean slate. But at the end, I will do a cumulative of, okay, here's where she's been batting so far for use over the tenure of the show.
Over duration.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
My goodness. What?
Right.
What a time.
What a time. This has been really... We made it through season 1.
We made it through season 1. Cheers. I don't have much
Cheers. I have nothing left. I'm going to clink it anyway.
Clink.
We're so happy you guys have tuned in for season 1.
Thank you so much.
Like we said, yes, thank you. We will be around on and off the next few weeks. Don't forget that season 2 premiere is going to be Sunday, May 23rd. No, 22nd. Sunday, May 22nd.
Can't wait.
Yes, we can't wait. We miss you already, but we'll be around.
Feel free to come find us on Instagram at winewineandonce or at Gmail.
winewineandonce@gmail.com.
We would love to hear from you. We miss you already. Thank you so much for taking this wild ride with us.
Holy fucking shit.
Has it been a ride? But
it's been a ride. It's been a bad time.
It has been a bad time. But I have good news.
What?
It can only go up from here.
It can only go up. You are so right.
Have a wonderful few weeks. We will see you May 22nd and before. But
officially with season 2, we will see you then.
And don't forget, magic is coming.
And Red ate her boyfriend. Thank you. Bye, everybody.